Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go. 50. Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance.
He's time to me. He's time to us. Mark 55. Mark 55. I'm coming.
On second down, Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Prescott now. He'll buy some time right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. The throw down the field caught by his running back. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
1st down, Dallas.
Mike, 6. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The throw here going to be complete to Gordon. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations?
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go.
And the pressure gets to him again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. The kick by Maher is good. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League, where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
He's going to fire, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
0-2. Hey, orbit.
Now Breeze. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
A gain of 3. It's fourth down.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down.
Check 37. Sammy. 5-8.
So here we go on fourth down with Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Ready. 5-8. Right there. Remember, 55. We ain't giving up nothing today.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
We're good. Ready.
47.
On 2nd and a yard. Breeze. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
95-56.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Sammy. Hey, wahoo. Watching it go. Over. Easy.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes. and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Mike, 55.
Breeze will try again on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Hey, easy. That's me. 5'9". Mike, 55. Check, 55. Hey, Charlie. All day. Mike, 55. Mike, 55.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Well, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Kill. Watch the whip.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Ready? You ready?
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
53. Hey, kill. Top 6-6, bullet high.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Ready? We're waiting. Let's go, defense. Kill. 5. 48 for Mike. We own this.
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Come on now, let's go.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Now Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
1st down, Cowboys.
Here we go. Mike 27. Let's go, let's go. Jim 26.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. Throwing on 2nd down. Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the 2nd half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, 1st half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
11. Hey, easy. Hey, seam 6. Mike 5-5. Mike 55. Mike 5-5.
Breeze to throw again. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the out. Kill.
The final shot before half for Breeze. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Here's Breeze to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Hey, easy. Easy, opposite.
Breeze going to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Austin Safarian-Jenkins. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018, 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Looking to throw. Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, they need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Prescott from the gun. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will get them 1 closer. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat. Ricky. Hey, easy. Banjo. 50. 11.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Bravo.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The sack by Michael Bennett, the native of tiny Independence, Louisiana.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack.
At the Saints' 44-yard line.
Check back 47. And let's get them home.
They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
After the sack on 1st down, Prescott. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Von Bell. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot They're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ready, 95, 56. 55. Twist. Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Michael Bennett, the former Texas A&M Aggie, dropping the hammer. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
I got one. Hey, exit. Watch the slap. You're 21.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Check 47. Set. We're going to 54.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott, that's complete to Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott now. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Von Bell, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking taking care of the ball. All the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Running with Kamara. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A busy night continues for Kamara. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for New Orleans, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. When I've been magic, with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use it. Can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get drown out my problems, let me. When I've been magic, with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have? Look in the mirror.